Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Oh yeah, all 140 horsepowers going straight to those front wheels, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Little accurate tech reaction. That was like a 40 to 60 in 5 seconds, baby. I did start in like third gear though. I probably should have started in like honestly second there. But anyway, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden. And in today's video, we are going to be going over responding to my hate comments. Now, I want to start this video off with two comments in particular that are not hate comments, just to show you guys that the majority, I'm talking 98% of my comments are very positive, very nice people, and I am not in any way or shape or form trying to complain about like my comment quality. I get ridiculous amounts of support even when I'm wrong, which that happens a lot, as you guys know. Even when I'm wrong about something and it's hilariously bad, I look at some of my old videos now and I'll watch them and I'll be like so wrong about something that I know nowadays, you know, and I'll literally be like, oh my god, I can't believe I used to say that about this car or about this car. One of the big ones is I used to think that the Ford Crown Vic was unreliable when it's absolutely not. I also used to call the flat horizontally opposed motors that are boxer engines and Subarus, I used to call those inline fours, and people used to call me out on that all the time. But even then, even when I would make mistakes, even still to this day when I make mistakes, people usually leave comments that are like, hey man, just wanted to let you know that's actually not really you're not really right about this, it's actually very, very incorrect, look this up, blah blah blah. And I'll be like, thank you, I appreciate that, because I'm not trying to spread misinformation. Obviously, if I could spread 100% correct, accurate information all of the time, I would obviously choose to do that. Unfortunately, I am just one guy and I do look up a lot of cars, so I'm destined to get some things wrong, and most people understand that. But yeah, I don't want to spread misinformation, so when people comment and be like, this is the truth about this that you said, I actually really do appreciate that, because again, I want, if a kid, a 16-year-old, 15-year-old guy is coming and watching my video and he wants to buy a car, I do not want to be the type of guy that makes him go out there and makes a bad purchase because I said something that was incorrect. So I want to start the video off with those two positive comments just to prove you guys. These are both from the same video on my good, bad, and ugly on the FC RX-7. I'm not going to read them because I am driving, but I'll put them on the screen so you guys can. But pretty much both of them are very positive. Very positive videos, and honestly, I watched back my FC RX-7 video to see if like I was overhyping it in that video. I wasn't. I was saying some pretty bad things about it because it really isn't the best car in the world, because it does have the rotary. So I was saying some pretty mean things, and these guys were still understood. Like, yeah, I love my car. My car's great, but there is some problems with it, and they understood that, and they said nice video. So the first one is by a guy named Luis Alberto Castilla 8574. Sorry if I butchered that name, man. And the second one is Datnilla Von Dizzle, which is a great name. But yeah, both of them were being like well reviewed. I appreciate it, even though I did leave some negative comments, and that's great. Most of these comments, by the way, are from my good, bad, and ugly videos, because people cannot understand the way that the good, bad, and uglies work, which is why I don't like doing them, honestly, because so many people like watch the good, bad, and uglies and think that it's supposed to be just me like hyping up the car. No, I'm gonna read reviews. And again, I mentioned, and most of you guys understand this, but again, I mentioned in almost all my good, bad, and uglies, like I have not driven this car. You know, it's not like I am not an accurate reviewer for this car. I'm just saying what the internet says about the car, you know, kind of like being the messenger there. And then they shoot me for it. You're not supposed to do that. You don't shoot the messenger, man. But they do, and they get mad at me, even though I'm just saying what I read on forums, what I watched in videos when making my good, bad, and ugly. So a lot of these are from good, bad, and uglies. But without further ado, let's go right into the actual hate comments and react to them. Some of them are right, some of them are, in my opinion, horribly wrong. But we'll go over the videos and everything too. Let me just hold on, because this roundabout, people do not know how to use a roundabout in rotary, whatever you want to call it. People don't know how to use a rotary on an RX-7. People don't know how to use a rotary at a stopping area. Anyway, first up is this is not a hate comment in any way, but it's a comment I get on obviously a ton of my videos. The 3000 GT is so hard to find for under 5K. I get so many, the insert car here is so hard to find under insert car here price in almost all my videos, and I'm going to address that really quick. Yes, there may be cars that I say are under a price range that are hard to find for you under a price range, because I live in Connecticut. I have there are people that comment on my videos from the UK that'll be like, oh my god, this guy's so wrong, this car is impossible to find under, and I'm like, dude, do you not understand how like you live in a completely different country than I do? Like, do you not get that? Like, to us, a Peugeot, a Citroen, those are really expensive cars for us because we'd have to import them first, you know? Like, to you guys, that's no big deal. So do you understand like the difference there? But even in the United States, if you live in a different state than I do, obviously if it's like Massachusetts, New York, that's different. I mean, you could pretty much the same prices around here. But if you live down south in Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, or if you live in the Midwest, I'm talking North Dakota, South Dakota, God, forget about those states literally every single day of my life, but Michigan, you know, if you live out there, if you live in the Pacific Northwest, you're talking Wyoming, Washington, anything else that's up there, I can't remember them. Your prices are going to be different, obviously, than New England prices. Massively different for a lot of reasons. A is availability. A lot of people, when sports cars come out, they don't buy them if they live up in a winter area. So up here in the New England area, it's super easy to find WRXs, any sort of all-wheel drive sports car, because they are reasonable to buy, or front-wheel drive sports car. There's a lot of Hondas up here, but the more rear-wheel drive stuff, 350Zs, S13s, stuff like that, Miatas, are more expensive up here because more people, when the car came out, didn't buy them up here because we have winter. So trucks up here are a lot cheaper than they are down south, because also another big thing is rust. We have rust. So up here, rust plays a role into it. So yeah, my prices may be a little bit lower than the prices that you're used to if you live out in California or Florida, but that's because I live in a different part of the country than you do, and obviously the prices are going to be different. And for those that are thinking, well, why doesn't he make a video that's universally acceptable? That's actually impossible to do, because again, every place has different prices. It would be impossible for me to look at every single state and find cars that are under the price range that I'm going for all states. That would take years. Like, it would take forever just to make one video, and so obviously I'm not going to do that. So I just go off of my price, or my prices where I live. All right, the next one is a video I made called the 7 things that I wish I knew before getting into cars. And in that video I mentioned how I believe sim racing will not prepare you for actual real life racing. And when I said that, I used Forza as an example, but what I was trying to say when I used Forza is, like, if you play Forza, you play Forza Motorsport a ton of times and then hop into a car, you are not going to be, like, people think that that's a sim racer and that they're ready to drive in a car, when obviously people that have played Forza know that that is nowhere near real life. And that's what I was kind of trying to say, but I guess I didn't portray it well enough. And so these guys kind of flamed me. I'm not, again, this is kind of long, so I'm not going to read it because I am driving. But pretty much, they're just saying that they think that Forza is an arcade game, and that when I compared it to simulation racing, it was a bad thing. I agree. I wasn't comparing it to simulation racing. The way I was trying to, what I was trying to say in that video was, if you play Forza, you are, it doesn't correlate to real life racing at all. The Assetto Corsa guys, the really realistic iRacing guys that like have $10,000 sim setups and spend a ton of money on the game too, and are just really dialed in. Yeah, I guess you could become like a serious racer if you spend enough time doing that. But overall, I still kind of stand by what I said there. A lot of people got upset in that video. I don't really know why. I think it's because it probably struck a nerve in a lot of people. They're probably not too happy with the fact that I was saying playing video games does not correlate to real life. But I'm sorry, that's the truth, man. You're not gonna become a professional racer by playing a video game. You can watch the Gran Turismo movie all you want. It's not very realistic. So get some seat time in is all I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to say that you're wasting your time or anything like that. I was literally just trying to say, get some seat time in. Get some seat time in. Next is actually a poll that I made. It was a poll on what is the best Group C race car, and the 787B was in there. 787B is absolutely not the best Group C race car in terms of its actual performance or legacy or anything like that. I'm not stupid enough to go around and say that, but it was one of the options, so some people were choosing it. As a matter of fact, a lot of people were. So this guy goes, how the hell are kids voting the 787B? And I was like, because they like the car? I feel like the kids are referring to even know that one. And then, this is what really bothered me. This is what really rubbed me the wrong way. He goes, whatever, I'm not looking for your argument. I said what I wanted to say, and that's all. You are looking for an argument. I hate people that do stuff like that, man. They try to act like the bigger guy when they're proved wrong. No, you were looking for an argument. You were going out of your way to call people who like a car that's different than your car children. That's insulting them. You're insulting them, and then when somebody claps back and says you're an idiot, you cower up in a corner and hide. Grow a pair of nuts, man. I hate that. I can't stand that's imagine that guy in real life. Like, this is the internet. He's not even face to face with somebody, and he's, wow, look at that STI. That's nice. I like that, man. Anyway, yeah, like you're not even face to face with somebody and you're already cowering up in a corner like that. Like, come on, dude. You gotta speak with your chest. If you're gonna make fun of people and when they clap back at you, you gotta be able to back it up. Imagine that guy in real life. Imagine he's at a bar, right? And he accidentally bumps into some guy and the guy's like, hey, watch where you're walking. Imagine what he would say. He would probably be like, okay, yeah, you want me to drop on my knees too? Like, what is wrong with you, buddy? Come on. I mean, that's not anything like, that's not a hate comment towards me. It was just a comment I got that when I saw it, I was so like, dude, come on, bro. Like, you can't go out of your way to make fun of people, and then the second somebody tries to make fun of you back, act like you're not looking for an argument. You're trying to be a nice guy. Like, no, you call them kids for liking a car that you don't like. Stand by that. You know what I mean? Sorry if that's like, if I'm, you know, going a little overboard there, but I can't be the only one that gets annoyed by things like that. It's ridiculous. All right, next up is this kid has no idea what he is talking about. This car is beloved across the globe and still to this day one of the best builds. That is in my Lexus GS300/GS400, good, bad, and ugly. And as you can see, it got a lot of likes. He didn't really specify what I meant by I didn't know what I was talking about, so I'm not going to go over that part. Maybe I didn't know what I was talking about, I don't know. But the next part that he says is, this car is beloved across the globe. I'm sorry if you own a GS300. I like those cars, I really do. They are good cars, and they're sick. Like, I don't own a GS300, absolutely, but they are not beloved across the globe. They're pretty cheap, actually, especially for a rear-wheel drive 90s car. And the reason why is because no one really wants them, because there's just so many better options for you out here. This is weird, I don't know what's going on here, but there's so many better options. I mean, Lexus themselves made better cars during that time frame. The IS300, SC300. I mean, cars with the same motor, the same platform pretty much, that are just better. They had a manual transmission, they were lighter, like they were just a better option than the GS300. And then on top of that, across the globe? What do you mean across the globe? The Lexus GS300 is an American-only car as far as I know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that, but across the globe, they got the Toyota Aristo, which is, again, just better than the GS300 in a lot of ways. Yes, it's a great car, and again, I do love the GS300s and GS400s. I would definitely own one if I had enough money to just drop on random cars. I would definitely own one. It's definitely not my first choice, but I would own one. But it's definitely not like a beloved car, like a JDM legend like this guy was trying to make it out to be. And then he goes, still to this day, it's one of the best builds. What do you mean? Are you trying to like use, I mean, maybe he's just saying like, oh, the Lexus engineers built it well, if that's what he was trying to say. But usually when I think of the word like builds in the car community, I think of a specific person's build, like my Integra build, or my 350Z build, or Adam LZ's CRX build, or TJ Hunt's 350Z build. You know what I mean? Like that, like a specific build. And he said it's still one of the best, but that part just kind of confused me. I was just kind of like, what are you talking? What do you mean builds? You mean just car? You could have just said cars. That would have made more sense in that scenario, I feel like. Anyway, next up, I think this is the last one. It is the last one. Okay. Final one is this guy that goes, oh yeah, I forgot to, I cropped this one poorly, unfortunately, but the comment was pretty much them being like, hey, could you do, the comment was a guy asking if I could do a video on like the most reliable cars for people under 3K or whatever. He was just asking for a video, and this guy goes, I mean, he recommends German cars every other week, so I doubt it. This isn't really a hate comment. I don't think this guy was trying to be like, oh, I hate this guy. He was probably just saying like, dude, this guy, you know, doesn't really talk about reliable cars all that often, because he does talk about German cars. But it's something that I did want to address, because I get a lot of comments of people being like, oh, German cars are incredibly unreliable. How could you ever say that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm young. Obviously, I don't have enough time under my belt. But my dad has been a mechanic his entire life, and he's worked on cars that you would be like astonished just to see them. Lamborghini Murcielago, Jaguar XJ220. Porsches out the wazoo, 911s, Carreras, whatever, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. But he's worked on tons of like high-end supercars, and the reason why is because he used to work at used car dealerships. Now he just works at Toyota, but he used to work at used car dealerships, and people would come in with expensive cars, and he was the only one that the manager or the owner or whatever trusted to work on them. He knows what he's talking about. Like, I'm telling you right now, you get any guy in my YouTube comment section, pin him up against my dad, give him a car with some random problem that my dad isn't. The guy could be a master in that car, and my dad could have never worked on it before in his life, and my dad will figure the issue out first, solve it faster, and solve it better than him. Like, I'm not trying to hype my dad up, but he is literally that insanely good at mechanics. It's unbelievable. There's been so many times where people are like, oh my god, Mark, I brought my car to the mechanic and they can't figure it out. Can your dad take a look at it? And so they bring the car over to my dad's house, or my house, I guess, I still live with him. So they bring the car over to my house, and my dad takes a look at it real quick, and he solves the problem immediately. He solves the problem over the phone. He'll be like, oh, it sounds like this. Oh, what kind of car is it? Okay, it probably is this. Like, he just knows these things. He's incredibly good at that. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because he tells me all the time, and I see it, a lot of like reputable sources online that will say this too. They'll be like, German cars aren't unreliable, they're just higher maintenance. And that is pretty much true. Like, yes, German cars overall are more unreliable than something like a Camry or a Civic, but it's not like so bad to the point where you'd be like, oh my god, that's so unreliable, you can't drive it. The only reason why it seems like that is because the people that buy them, think about the people that buy German cars, dude. Like, usually it's bougie people, right? Like, people that are trying to like fake it till they make it. Those people don't know how to take care of their crap, man. Like, those people are not mechanics. They aren't people that buy cars and build them and know how to work on cars. I'm gonna sound like a D-bag here, but they're like blonde white girls, you know? They have their white BMW with the pretty wheels, and they curb them on everything. So yeah, obviously they seem more unreliable because the people that buy them don't know how to take care of a car. And I'm saying that as my brakes are scraping. Listen. So obviously I don't know how to take care of a car either. But yeah, no, seriously, like, that's what I feel like when when people say that. Like, the people that are just buying these cars aren't the best owners of the cars. I don't think that. Are they unreliable overall? Again, compared to something like just a Camry or a Civic, absolutely. I'm not going to argue that. If you want literally just reliability and you don't care about anything else, then yes, just buy a Camry or a Civic. But obviously, that's not the only reason why you're buying something like the car in front of me, this 330i here. You're buying it because it also offers stuff like luxury, speed, style, interior, you know, performance. There's so much stuff that German cars offer that something like a Camry can't, and so that's why people are spending that extra little price tag on them. Yes, they do suffer from a little bit more unreliability, but overall I think people are massively overestimate how unreliable they're actually going to be because of poor maintenance, and that's the way I look at it. So yeah, I recommend German cars in a lot of my videos, and I'm going to continue to do so. I've had friends that have owned German cars. My dad owns German cars. None of them have given anybody any major issues that I can think of. My friend, the biggest issue that I can think of is rear subframe issues with my friend's E46. Like, that's the biggest issue I can think of with any German car. I've had so many friends own German cars. I've had so many friends own Japanese. So many friends own American. Honestly, of all of them, besides their trucks, I would say American are the most unreliable. Like, these American cars, dude, I hear so many nightmares about American economy cars. It's insane. Like, the trucks, yeah, the trucks are reliable as hell, especially the diesel trucks, like, go for it. But the, like, economy American cars sound like nightmares. I don't know why people don't talk about that more often. But anyway, that's it. Responding to my hate comments. I feel like this video is probably already, like, 20 minutes long. I'm going to get my oil changed, and it's right up the street, so I'm going to have to stop. Also, by the way, do you guys like these G20 3 Series? I do. I like them. I like them a lot. But yeah, overall, again, it was literally hard to find these hate comments. So I'm not saying that, like, I get tons of hate comments and I'm complaining about it. I just wanted to make a video addressing some of the bigger comments that I get on my channel. I don't know what I'm gonna name this video, but probably something like that. Like so many comments that I get on a daily basis, honestly, that aren't necessarily hate comments. Things like that 3000 GT comment, but the things that I get on the video, and so I wanted to address them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. My God, I gotta go get my oil changed, and then I'm gonna get my oil changed on my body too, because I gotta take a dookie. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.